My wife cheated and left me when I was mourning my parents' passing. Now she is running back to me after finding out I'm inheriting $15 million. When Mom and Dad died in that car crash, I was destroyed. The funeral was on a Tuesday. By Friday, Amara said she needed space to process everything. She went to stay with her sister for just a few days. Those few days turned into a week, then 2 weeks. She barely answered my calls. When she did, she sounded distant, distracted. I was grieving alone in our apartment, surrounded by sympathy cards I couldn't bring myself to open. 3 weeks after the funeral, her sister accidentally sent me a photo in a group chat. It was meant for someone else. Amara and some guy I'd never seen before, sitting at a beachside bar, both of them laughing. She was wearing the sundress I'd bought her for our anniversary. I just stared at my phone for an hour. Couldn't even cry anymore. I'd run out of tears. She came back the next day to grab her stuff. I asked her who he was. She didn't even try to lie, just said, "Does it really matter?" Then she told me she couldn't handle my depression right now, that I'd become too much for her to deal with. She left her wedding ring on the kitchen counter next to the coffee maker and walked out. I didn't fight it, didn't have the energy. The next 4 months were the darkest of my life. I stopped showing up to work and got fired after 2 weeks. Stopped answering my phone entirely. My sister checked on me a couple times, but she was dealing with her own grief and had her kids to worry about. So I told her I was fine and she believed me because she needed to. I lived off instant ramen and whatever I could order without leaving the apartment. My parents' lawyer, Mr. Callahan, kept calling about estate matters. I let every call go to voicemail. He left messages saying there were important documents I needed to sign, time-sensitive matters to discuss. I deleted them all. Finally, last month, he showed up at my apartment, knocked for 10 minutes straight until I opened the door. He took one look at me, my overgrown beard and the mess behind me, and said, "Son, I'm not leaving until you come to my office." I went the next day, mostly to make him stop bothering me. I figured it was just the house and maybe some savings to split with my sister. I barely listened as he went through papers, talking about assets and liquidation and market value. Then he slid a document across his desk. Dad's software company had been in acquisition talks before the accident. The deal closed 3 weeks after the funeral. The buyer's payment just cleared escrow, $15.2 million split equally between me and my sister. I thought he was joking. He showed me the bank statements. The money was already transferred. I was sitting there in my stained hoodie, looking at numbers I couldn't process. I didn't tell anyone. Not even my sister knew the exact amount yet, since she'd been avoiding the lawyer too. Something in me clicked that day. I wasn't going to let Amara's abandonment and my parents' death define the rest of my life. I got myself together, started therapy twice a week, went back to my old gym, applied for jobs, and got hired at a better company than before. Bought new clothes, finally cleaned the apartment, started living again, but I kept the inheritance quiet. Told my sister not to post anything on social media about it. She agreed since we both wanted privacy while grieving. Then 3 days ago, my sister forgot our agreement. She was excited about finally being able to afford her dream house, so she posted on Facebook about unexpected blessings and thanked Mom and Dad for securing our futures. Didn't mention the amount, but enough people knew about Dad's company that they could guess. Yesterday morning, I got a text from Amara. First one in 4 months. "Can we talk? I miss you." I didn't respond. That evening, she showed up at my door. Hair done, makeup perfect, wearing a dress I'd never seen before. She had tears in her eyes, saying she'd made the biggest mistake of her life, that she'd been scared and overwhelmed, but she'd had time to think and realized she still loved me, that she wanted to work things out, go to couples therapy, rebuild what we had. I just stood there, hand on the doorframe, and asked her one simple question. "Did my sister call you?" Her face went completely white. She stammered something about just wanting to check on me, about how the timing was just coincidence. I pulled out my phone and showed her the Facebook post, posted 2 days ago. She'd commented on it yesterday morning. "So happy for you guys." 30 minutes before she texted me. She tried to recover, said the post reminded her of me, made her realize life's too short, that she genuinely wanted another chance. Her voice got higher and faster, more desperate with every word. I let her stand there in my doorway, scrambling for excuses, for a full minute of silence. Watched her fall apart the same way I had when she left. Then I said the exact same words she told me 4 months ago. "I can't handle your desperation right now." And I closed the door in her face. Through the door, I heard her start crying, then begging me to open it. I turned up the TV and ordered dinner. I'm not saying the money doesn't matter, but she left me when I had nothing, not even the will to keep living. She doesn't get to come back now that I have everything.